Think about the hardest thing you have ever been through, the moment that still sits in the back of your mind, the one you rarely talk about because it changed something deep inside you. Most people look at those turning points as proof that life is unfair, that something precious was stolen from them, or that they lost a part of themselves they will never be able to recover. But what if those moments were not the end of something, but the beginning of a different kind of becoming? Buddhist philosophy suggests that life is not asking why you suffered. It is asking what the experience is building inside you. Pain, loss, rejection, and disappointment are not random punishments. They are training fields for the mind and heart. They refine patience, dissolve illusions, and expose the strength that comfort never had a reason to reveal. In this video, we will explore 7 subtle ways your past pain has already been shaping you into someone wiser, calmer, and more grounded if you learn how to work with it instead of fighting it. By the end of this journey, you may notice something surprising. The moments you wish never happened might be the same moments that prepared you for the life you quietly desire. A life with more clarity, more peace, and a deeper understanding of who you are becoming. Stay with me, because once you see your story through this lens, you will never walk your path the same way again. Lesson 1. From why me to what is this training? When something painful enters your life, the mind reacts instantly. It builds a story before you even take a breath. This should not have happened. Something is wrong with me. Life has singled me out. This is the default narrative of an untrained mind, a mind that believes every difficulty is a personal attack rather than a natural part of the human experience. But Buddhist insight gently shifts this perspective. Life is not punishing you or rewarding you. It is simply moving through cause and effect, shaping you in ways you may not yet understand. The transformation begins when you change the question you ask yourself. Instead of sinking into why me, you step into a new doorway by asking, what is this experience trying to grow in me? Every challenge trains a specific capacity. Some situations sharpen your patience when all you want is control. Some teach boundaries when you keep giving more than you can afford. Others cultivate courage when fear tries to shrink your world. Many moments stretch your humility, your compassion, or your clarity, not through comfort, but through discomfort that refuses to be ignored. Look closely at your past, and you will see this training everywhere. Rejection, for example, has a way of teaching you how to stand without leaning on the approval of others. Embarrassment often trains you to soften toward yourself, allowing you to laugh at your mistakes rather than break under them. Failure, though painful, strengthens your ability to begin again without turning against yourself. Each of these experiences builds an inner skill that comfort could never construct. This shift in perspective does not deny pain. It gives pain a purpose. It turns chaos into curriculum and transforms loss into instruction. When you see life this way, you stop taking every hardship personally and start recognizing the silent intelligence within your experiences. And as this understanding deepens, you step into your true role. You are not a victim of events. You are an apprentice of experience. Each moment is shaping who you are becoming, preparing you for the strength, clarity, and depth you will need on the path ahead. Lesson 2. The pattern mirror, seeing what life keeps repeating. There are seasons in life where you begin to notice something unsettling. The same type of pain seems to circle back again and again, almost as if life is repeating itself on purpose. You attract similar relationships that end in similar arguments. Money leaves your hands as quickly as it enters. You burn out in every job, no matter how hard you try to organize your time. Most people look at these patterns and decide they are unlucky, cursed, or doomed to repeat their parents' stories. But in Buddhist understanding, these repetitions are not curses, they are mirrors. Life has a peculiar way of giving the same lesson multiple times, each time with slightly different details until the lesson lands. It is less like punishment and more like education. A class unlearned must be retaken. A pattern unexamined must be re-experienced. The universe does not speak in English or any spoken language. It speaks through circumstances. It speaks through the pain you cannot ignore, the tensions that return, and the outcomes that keep reminding you where you are not yet awake. If you want to work with life instead of against it, take a moment to identify your repeating themes. Write down the 3 most painful patterns that keep showing up in your story. Then, ask 2 questions that change everything. What is the common denominator here? And what version of me is life asking me to outgrow? Sometimes the pattern reveals that you abandon your boundaries too quickly. Sometimes it shows you that you chase validation rather than respect. Sometimes it exposes a belief that you are unworthy of what you secretly desire. Patterns are not there to shame you. They are there to clarify what needs to evolve. When seen through this mirror, life becomes less personal and more instructive. You stop blaming fate and start recognizing your unconscious habits. You stop seeing patterns as unfair punishments and begin seeing them as invitations to rise. Your recurring problems are not evidence that you are cursed. They are evidence that you are being invited to wake up, to graduate from the version of yourself that no longer fits the path you are meant to walk. Lesson 3. Pain is a sculptor, not a sentence. Pain has a way of entering our lives without warning, leaving marks that are both visible and invisible. What happened to you was real. The disappointment, the betrayal, the loss, the failure. These experiences carry weight. But the danger begins when the mind takes what happened and quietly turns it into a statement about who you are. Pain is what you went through. Identity is what you decide it means. Most people fuse the two together. Because this happened, I am broken. Because they left, I am unlovable. Because I failed, I am behind. These stories do more damage than the pain itself. They freeze you in an outdated version of yourself long after the event has passed. Buddhist insight offers a different path. Identity is not a fixed sculpture carved once and for all. Identity is constructed continuously, moment by moment, based on how you interpret your experience. Pain becomes a sculptor only when you allow yourself to meet it with awareness rather than collapse beneath it. It chisels away the illusions that comfort never touches. It softens pride, deepens compassion, reveals values, and strengthens boundaries. In this way, pain is less of a life sentence and more of a force that removes what no longer belongs. To see the difference clearly, take one painful event from your past and write 2 stories about it. The first story is the collapse story. This happened, so I am ruined, unworthy, or permanently damaged. The second story is the sculptor story. This happened, so now I see what I truly value. I protect myself differently. I choose partners or people with more awareness. I no longer waste time on what drains me. Notice that the same event produces 2 radically different identities, depending on the story you attach to it. This reframing does not deny grief or minimize suffering. It simply refuses to let pain become the author of your destiny. Pain does not decide who you are. It only hands you the raw material to decide who you become. And in that choice, you reclaim your agency, your dignity, and the quiet strength that has been forming beneath the surface of your hardest days. Lesson 4. Chaos as a forced reset direction, not ruin. Chaos arrives in life like an earthquake. Relationships end without warning. Jobs dissolve overnight. Plans that once felt solid fall apart in your hands. When this happens, the first reaction for most people is collapse. The mind whispers that everything is over, that the future has been destroyed, and that life has betrayed them. But if you look closely, chaos often enters precisely where you are building a future too small for who you are meant to become. A breakup ends a relationship you were shrinking inside. A job loss ends work that no longer aligned with your values. A crisis interrupts a version of your life that had quietly stopped growing. Buddhist philosophy teaches that nothing in life is truly solid. Everything is always in motion, transforming and evolving. Chaos exposes all the places where we try to make things permanent that were never meant to be permanent. We cling to a partner who once fit but no longer does. We cling to certainty because uncertainty frightens us. We cling to old versions of ourselves because they feel safer than growth. Chaos removes these attachments not to punish us, but to keep us moving in alignment with the truth that life is change itself. When you find yourself in the middle of a chaotic reset, instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" try asking two more useful questions. What was I over-attached to here? And what value was I betraying just to keep this stable? The answers to those questions reveal more about your path than any prediction about the future. Many people only make courageous moves after chaos forces their hand. They leave cities they would have never left, change careers they would have never questioned, end relationships they would have tolerated, and finally choose a life they can respect rather than just endure. Chaos is rarely comfortable, but it is often a redirection disguised as ruin. It breaks the floor beneath you so that you do not spend the rest of your life standing in a room that was never meant to contain you. The ground that gave way beneath you may be the floor you were never meant to stand on forever. Lesson 5. Releasing the illusion of control. Every person carries a secret script in their mind about how life is supposed to unfold. By this age, I should have achieved this. This relationship must last forever. If I do everything right, life will reward me. These scripts are rarely spoken aloud, yet they govern how we interpret success, disappointment, timing, and self-worth. When life violates the script, suffering appears not because life changed, but because life refused to follow the plan we wrote without realizing it. Buddhism points to a simple but powerful truth. Suffering intensifies not from what happens, but from our attachment to how things should have been. The mind clings to its script as if it were law, forgetting that reality has never promised to obey our expectations. When relationships end, when careers shift, when dreams collapse or take longer than imagined, the pain is doubled by the belief that reality made a mistake. This is where the illusion of control quietly builds its prison. A useful practice begins by noticing the moment you say to yourself, "This is not how it was supposed to go." Pause there. Ask yourself, who wrote that script? Me or reality? The answer is almost always the same. The script came from your mind, shaped by culture, comparison, fear, and fantasy. Reality was never consulted. Reality is not betraying you. It is simply moving according to causes and conditions far bigger than your personal timeline. Letting go of the script does not mean becoming passive or detached from life. It means participating fully without demanding that life pay you back in a specific form. You learn to give effort without turning the outcome into a condition for inner peace. This approach could be called participation without possession. You show up, you act, you care, you try, but you release the grip on how it must end. When you begin to live this way, something subtle but profound shifts. Anxiety loosens, resentment fades, curiosity returns. You stop trying to negotiate with life and start walking with it. You are learning to show up fully, without making your peace dependent on life obeying your plan. Lesson 6. Making your past useful. There are experiences in life that leave you feeling like you survived something, but gained nothing. You move on, but the memory lingers like a scar you are unsure how to explain. Because of this, many people believe their past was wasted. They replay it, but never repurpose it. They view the pain as a closed chapter, rather than raw material for something meaningful. Yet, in Buddhist understanding, the deepest purpose of suffering often reveals itself when you use what you survived to reduce someone else's suffering. Pain becomes purposeful the moment it becomes useful. One of the most quiet forms of compassion is recognizing that your wounds give you access to worlds you would otherwise never understand. A person who never felt abandonment cannot truly comprehend the panic of being left. Someone who never faced scarcity cannot understand the anxiety of never having enough. Someone who never failed publicly cannot empathize with the sting of humiliation. Your past pain becomes a language, and through it, you learn how to sit with others differently, not with judgment, but with a softness that cannot be faked. If you want to explore this transformation, ask yourself a simple question. Who is going through something I understand too well? There are many ways to serve without becoming a teacher or a guru. You can listen to someone without rushing to fix them. You can share your story honestly, not to impress, but to make others feel less alone. You can build healthier patterns in your own family or friendships so that the cycle breaks with you. You can even choose a career or a passion project shaped by what you lacked, turning absence into motivation. The beauty of this path is that it does not require perfection, enlightenment, or public influence. Your lived honesty is medicine. Every time you use your past to make someone else's path softer, your pain stops being a private burden and becomes a bridge. Your past is not just something you escaped from. It can become a bridge others walk across. Lesson 7. Living as a student, not a victim. There is a moment in every person's journey when the question shifts. It is no longer about why life is hard, or why things didn't work out, or why certain doors closed. The real question becomes, how do I walk with what life gives me? This shift does not come from a single revelation. It comes from a gradual change in how you move through the world. The ultimate transformation is not an idea, not a mantra, not a philosophy. It is a new way of relating to life itself. Most people unconsciously move in what could be called victim mode. In victim mode, life is always doing something to you. Life takes, life destroys, life interrupts, life disappoints. Every obstacle feels like an attack. Every delay feels like a betrayal. The world feels unfair, and the mind interprets events as personal. But this mode contains a hidden cost. When you live as if life is doing things to you, you never look for what life might be showing you. The opposite mode is student mode. In this mode, life is no longer a battlefield you must survive. It becomes a classroom, a dojo, a training ground for consciousness. Challenges are not validations of your fear. They are invitations to strengthen your mind, refine your character, and awaken your clarity. Buddhist tradition describes this as the shift from unconscious reacting to conscious observing and responding. Instead of immediately collapsing into old patterns, you watch your reactivity, recognize it, and choose differently. That choosing is where freedom begins. A daily practice can help anchor this shift. At the end of each day, before you disappear into distraction or sleep, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What did today try to teach me? Where did I react from old pain? And where did I respond from my wiser self? These questions do not require perfection. They require honesty. They reveal where you are repeating the past and where you are beginning to transcend it. The power of this mindset is not in dramatic breakthroughs, but in quiet consistency. You do not need to understand everything that happens to you. You do not need to decode destiny or unravel every wound before healing can begin. What you need is curiosity. Curiosity keeps the mind open. Curiosity prevents suffering from hardening into bitterness. Curiosity allows you to keep learning long after most people have stopped. Over time, this shift changes the trajectory of your entire life. You stop fighting what is happening and start participating in it. You stop running from discomfort and start studying it. You stop wishing for a different past and start using the one you lived. This is the posture of inner maturity. It is not loud, not performative, and not urgent. It is steady, attentive, and rooted in reality. At this point, you are no longer just surviving your story. You are studying it, shaping it, and walking with it. And when you live like that, life stops feeling like random chaos and begins to reveal its hidden architecture, piece by piece, lesson by lesson, moment by moment. If you pause for a moment and look back at your life, you may notice a quiet pattern emerging. Nothing you went through was meaningless, not because life is crafting a perfect story for you, but because you always hold the power to turn any moment into training, insight, or compassion. The events themselves may not have been chosen, but what you harvest from them is entirely your freedom. Think about your past, not as a string of accidents or disappointments, but as a series of invitations. Invitations to grow, to soften, to become wiser, to set boundaries, to learn how to love without losing yourself, to discover what matters, and to let go of what never did. Even the moments that made no sense at the time were shaping you in ways you can only recognize now. Before this video ends, try a small practice. Take a slow breath and feel the weight of your body wherever you are sitting or lying. Let your mind bring up one difficult experience you are moving through right now, something that still feels unresolved or uncomfortable. Instead of asking why this is happening, ask a quieter question. If this moment is a lesson, what might it be trying to teach me? You do not need a perfect answer. The value is in the asking. As you walk forward, remember this: you are not the broken result of what happened to you. You are the consciousness that can notice, learn, and choose who you become next. Life will not stop being unpredictable. People will not always behave the way you hope. Plans will not always unfold neatly, but your relationship to every event can change. And when that changes, your entire world shifts with it. If this way of seeing your journey brings you even a little clarity, calm, or strength, stay close. We explore these kinds of truths every week, quietly, honestly, and step by step. And before you go, share something with the community. What is one hard experience you have been through that you now see differently? Your words might become the light that helps someone else navigate their own path tonight.